They're
this
like notoriously messy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drama going on.
I know, but I've never understood the dynamics.
All their songs reflect that. Like they ran so Taylor Swift could crawl, you know? Like Taylor Swift reflects a lot of her love life in her songs. She probably took a lesson from Fleetwood Mac because that's exactly what they did.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn. And most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention. There's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather. Weirds of a feather.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
I'm
go.
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been ready because this episode's been written for a while.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Are dangerously close to episode 100. I hope
Holy
you know.
shit.
This is episode 98.
Are we going to do...
I think we got to do something special. I mean, we've already done more than 100 episodes because of bagel bites and shit, but like numbering-wise for regular episodes,
what do we do for
98.
episode 100? I love how we're planning this now as we're on air. Guys, collectively.
This is the best time to plan. Yeah. What are we
Write in.
doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Let's get a group chat together.
Yeah.
Let's plan it out.
Tell
what are we
us.
doing? Episode 100.
Gotta be something special.
It's going to be something special. Hope we think of it soon.
I hope so too. We don't have far to go.
We probably should
Next time we
figure that out.
record.
Yeah. Should it be on the adjacent side or should it be more ADHD autism?
Yeah. Do we want to make that like a look back episode?
Look back? Do we?
I think we make it a fun one. We're not
We gotta
doing
make it. We
serious.
gotta do a fun.
We're gonna like educate people.
Yeah. No, we're not
No.
here for education.
No, neither are you.
No.
And with that, let's say welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an AuDHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Grace Beret.
And I'm your host, Kristin Stanhope.
Ayo, look at that
Hey.
transition.
And we're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're alive.
We're alive. Well, no. But we are here.
breathing.
Breathing.
Yeah.
Our limbs are here.
Yep.
We have all of our toes at this moment in time
Yes.
as we're recording. That
I
could
go.
change any moment.
You never know.
You never know.
But for now, we're good.
Toes are a dime a dozen. You can lose quite a few of them.
Yeah. Who needs them?
Let's, I got a warm-up question. This
All right.
one's near and dear to my heart and that I may get fired up about.
I believe it.
Someone brings donuts into the office.
Yeah.
How many slices of a donut? Like, you know, people like, maybe they'll cut it in half, maybe in fourths.
Yeah.
How many times can you cut a donut until it's inappropriate?
You can only do quarters. Anything less than that is inappropriate.
Thank you.
People are doing
you.
smaller bites than quarters?
1/16.
What are we, mice?
I had an office meeting the other day because I know who the culprit is. And I called her out. I go, I know you're doing this.
Is
I
it a
don't
little
want-
bird woman who pretends
No,
like
it's
my
not a
mom
bird
that
woman.
she's just, I'm just going to have a tiny
It's
little
just
bit. And then
tiny
she
little
eats like
bite.
12 pieces.
I go, I don't want your crumbs. You
Yes.
take 1/4
Yes.
or you take nothing at all.
Yes.
I was like, anything less than 1/4 is unacceptable.
Yeah.
And I won't have, especially if it's like a jelly-filled donut. Where's that?
No.
You're getting goo everywhere.
Or you get nothing. You
Yeah.
get the one
You get
little
the-
eighth of a donut and it's just the cake with no
yeah.
jelly.
No.
No. Throw
That's
it in the trash if you can't eat the whole
Unreal-
quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
Inappropriate.
Also, like, yeah, that's so inappropriate and like
You're just mashing it at
Just
that point.
rude to the other people in the office.
Yes. There's not enough structure to be cut into less than fourths, you know?
Yes, they do
Or
a
more
lot
than
of
fourths.
eighths,
No.
which is crazy.
Eighths.
Yeah, so they cut it into fourths and then they cut one of the fourths in half.
No.
And you're like, what are we doing?
No. What is this? A donut for ants?
Right. Exactly.
No.
She's like, well, what if I just
Inappropriate.
want a bite? Well, then 1/4 of a donut is a bite.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I could eat 4 donuts. I could eat a whole dozen and I
Say,
wouldn't even
"Watch
blink an
me."
eye. I could. Yeah.
1/4 of a donut
Yeah.
is too much of a bite for you. Come on.
She's like,
Address
what
your
if I wanna
relationship with
mix?
food.
I was like, then you cut them into fourths and then you take 4 different ones.
Yes.
And then I know you're going to come back and take, I was like, everybody there eats like 2 donuts at least.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
That is crazy. No.
I feel bad because last time this happened again recently, and here I see this like 1/16 of a donut, and I go, because it is all women who work in the back, and I just go, ladies, we've discussed this. This is the rule.
Yes.
We do not do less than fourths. What is this crumb that I see? And I guess it was my coworker, a man, who actually cut it. And I was like, where is he? But he left for the day, so I couldn't yell at him.
Convenient.
But they're like, it wasn't us. We know. I've realized that the office is afraid of me about this issue.
As they should be.
They should be, because I've made clear and cut rules that is inappropriate. I appreciate the donuts.
Yep.
I always thank them when they bring them in.
Nice. The donuts
and the people who bring them in.
Smart.
I say, thank you for these donuts. This is lovely. Appreciate it. I enjoy it. But if you're cutting it into more than fourths, that's rude to your other office workers.
I agree. I would say address your relationship with diet culture.
This is a bridge I'm willing to die on.
I agree. It's like me with microwaving plastic containers in grad school, where everyone was like scared of me because they knew I would yell at them if I caught them microwaving in plastic. They'd be like, is Grace here in the lab? And I would catch him, I would come around the corner and be like, I know you're microwaving plastic.
I smelled it.
Yeah.
But like,
it's good to instill a little fear in your coworkers, you know?
I've rarely yelled at people before, but I will gladly yell at someone. And the things that I've yelled at, if people like really, really mess up, I try to be like super compassionate, because no one likes to get yelled at.
Yeah.
And I'm not a yeller.
No. But a small silly thing like that,
this is something
you can definitely yell.
I get upset about.
Yeah.
And
small inconsequential things.
I'm glad you agree.
I fully agree.
I will be asking this on a poll question.
I think that's a good poll question.
It's obscene to do anything more, and rude.
Yes, rude. Yeah, because like, what is this little bite you're leaving me with?
Yes.
And you make a great point about the jellies. Like, if anything, I think a jelly donut, maybe controversial, should only be cut in half.
Yeah.
You know? There's not enough jelly to go around.
That should be an amendment to the rule.
Yeah.
Here's the rule. Exception, jelly donuts only half. Or any sort of cream,
a Boston
substance-filled
cream
donut. Yeah.
Yeah, because even with a quarter, it's not always dispensed equally throughout the pieces. So maybe you get one piece that's just cream,
rarely is
or
it
one piece that's just cake, you know? I don't want that. I want the combo.
Exactly. I'm not picking a jelly donut to just eat the cake. I want the combo of the jelly inside, you know?
That jelly, bitch. I fully agree with you, and I fully support you.
I'm glad we agree on this, because I was about to like lose it the other day.
You know me.
I was like, yeah, there's an election, but have you seen how this person cut this donut? Like,
the real atrocity.
I'm ready to go to court over this.
Yeah. It's just rude.
Yeah, that is rude. Well,
all right, I'm glad we covered that.
Yeah, let us know if you are also offended by this.
Yeah, let us know your donut rules.
Yeah,
do
you
enforce them?
Are you that person?
Yeah.
Are you that person who cuts them into 1/16?
Yeah.
Write in so we can argue.
Yeah,
all right?
so we can shame you publicly.
I'll not only will I shame you publicly, but I will write you a strongly worded email, and I'll do some diagrams.
Nice. Yeah. That's what they need.
Okay,
all right.
I feel better now.
Good. I'm glad. Should we get into This Is Who I Am Now?
Yeah, I'm a new person now.
You look changed.
Yeah.
Let's find out who you are. Let's do it.
This time it's different. Everything has changed. This is who I am now.
This is who I am now. Great.
Good.
I like that soft fade away.
Yeah.
Kristin.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
I am a brat.
And I just want to
new. This is new to work.
Okay.
I'm a brat at work.
Okay.
Always, and I want to clarify. I am not brat like Gen Z,
like brat girl summer.
Yeah. No, that's not me. I am a brat,
like a petulant child.
Yes. Yeah. There's a clear difference.
Glad we cleared that up.
And and I want to just make sure. No, I'm not cool.
Yeah.
And it's not wanted, but
it's upsetting. People
lately,
hate
it. Yeah. I've been working quite a bit.
You have. You deserve to be a brat.
And when you've been working many long hours at the hands of surgeons who sometimes don't understand the rules, even though they've been here longer than you have. Sometimes someone's going to get yelled at.
Mm.
And even though I just said I don't yell at people often, this has been a change.
You kind of have a touch of that hall monitor autism.
Yeah,
you love rules.
It really, not only do I love rules, but I like regularity. So when someone comes to me at 8 a.m. and says, hey, there's been a change of plans, I'm going to add this case on that's wildly unnecessary, and you're going to have to stay late. Guess who's getting yelled at? Not me. I'm doing the yelling.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I don't know. Because one, I'm changing jobs. So my time is ending. And
yeah, you got senioritis.
I got senioritis.
Terrorize the office.
So yeah, and I'm taking it out on the office.
Yeah, they deserve it, probably.
More specifically, my bosses.
Yeah, get them.
And I wish I cared more, but I don't. And I've just been like, I can't even like, they're like, Kristin, what's your opinion? And rather than like what I usually do is try to say like something insightful and productive and intelligent. And I just go, I don't like it. I think it's a stupid idea, but go for it. You know? And I can't, it just like oozes out of me. And they're like, whoa.
Real bratty.
Yeah, real bratty. And I don't know what has gotten into me, but I think it's long hours plus senioritis. And
plus the election. I think we can just be feral. Yeah. You know?
That's how I feel. I feel feral.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel bad. I have like a little med student, a regular sized med student, sorry, she's regular sized, who gets to follow me around. And it's technically all of our med student, but like, I don't know, I've adopted her. She's, God bless her, but I'm just like, you know, just making these like sarcastic comments, these rude things. I'll be like, so most surgeons wouldn't do it this way, just to clarify. And she's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, actually, we would do it the opposite.
It's good to learn that stuff because you don't learn that stuff in school. You're not going to learn that in like a professional capacity. I think someone's got to tell them, you know, the real, true ways of the world.
Last week, I think I told her in front of the surgeon, I go, this is a good lesson of what not to do. Let's keep watching.
Here you see a surgeon participating in what not to do.
And I like can't, I don't know. It won't, I don't think I'll stop until I start my new job and I have to like be pleasant again. Yeah. But I've just been on a terror, and so much so that the other day, you can blank out his name. One of the surgeons, specifically went to a different PA because he's like, I can't deal with her right now. And I don't know.
Make yourself ungovernable.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. No one. He's like, I'm gonna approach you because I don't think that Kristin is. He's like, I just can't.
Good.
And I'm like, all right. And
he shouldn't.
And yeah, my coworker's like laughing. He's like, yeah, it's probably right. Yeah, she's on a roll.
I fully support it. And I think
that being said, the beast. I like most of my bosses. They're very nice. They're very kind to me and they support me and they help me out a lot most of the times. But they also, it's like a give or take because it's like they help me a lot, but they also make my life miserable, you know?
And they're still your bosses,
you
know?
So
you're still doing labor that benefits them.
Yeah. So
be feral.
Yeah, I am. And yeah, so it's definitely a new me because I feel like usually I'm very kind at work because, you know, patient care, you should be kind. But lately I've just been like on this just roll here.
Being kind is different from being nice.
Yeah.
You know? You can
and to my patients, I feel like I'm always kind and nice and supportive unless they're rude to one of my other coworkers or a nurse, and then I get bratty. But yeah, lately I've just been, I yelled at a surgeon the other day in front of his colleagues. It wasn't pretty. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was in the right, and everybody's like, yeah, that's true.
And how often are surgeons yelling at people, you know?
Yeah, well, this one never. He would never. I don't even think I've ever heard him raise his voice before above like a whisper.
Well, he should probably speak above a whisper. That's like not conducive to
and I have no
room.
regrets. And this is just a new me now, and this is who I am. So
I support it, and I love it.
Good luck, people at my new job.
Yeah. Feral Kristin 2.0.
No, I won't.
Prestige unleashed.
I'll rein it in for my new job, but
unless they deserve it.
True. Grace.
Yes.
I know.
Really liked your face when you said that. I am a roller skater.
Whoa. Ew. I love this.
Right?
I love this for you.
I've always been a roller blader throughout my whole life.
I think we even did a hobby collector on blades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable on the blades, you know. It's a good workout.
I love blading.
Same. But I've wanted for a while now to try out roller skating, which is significantly harder than rollerblading for some reason. I think because you can't walk on them, like that's what I'm discovering. Even when you're just trying to stand still, you're always like trying to balance on roller skates. Whereas rollerblades, once you're not moving, you can kind of wear them like ski boots where you're like, you clomp around in them, but you can like stand still.
They're
you can
very
walk,
clompy.
You can stop and like, roller skates, you're on like these slippery wheels and there's no way to stop slipping unless you're like sitting down or falling, which I fell the other day. But I bought roller skates at a yard sale with our friend Gracie a few weeks ago. She said she's going to buy a pair too so we can go together. She has not.
Of course. She says these things.
She does. She's like, buy them, and then I'll buy a pair too. And I was like, okay, if I buy these, you have to buy a pair. Guess who hasn't bought their pair yet?
Yeah, she'll never buy a pair.
No,
I'll
she
blade
won't.
with you.
Yeah, will you?
Yeah, I gotta find mine.
All right, and listeners, if you live in Maine and you want to come to Happy Wheels with me, let me know because I legitimately want to go to Happy Wheels. It's a skating rink.
You can rent skates there, right?
Yeah, you don't need your own. You can rent. I have a pair of roller blades that are probably size 8 if you want to blade, or you can rent roller skates, or you can rent roller blades there, or you can bring your own or whatever. But I really just want to go to open skate.
Wolf day out.
Yeah.
Wolf day out.
I'm serious.
Let's
if you're
get it together.
up for going to Happy Wheels, I would love to. It's a skating place. It used to be in Portland, and we used to go there for skating nights.
For my birthday party, I think.
Did you have a birthday party there?
I think so.
But we used to do skate nights there through our elementary school. And then remember like Dare did a skate event there.
I'll wear a Dare shirt to skate
right?
night. Yeah.
Yeah, Dare to do drugs.
Yeah. I actually, you know what I should do is my brother gave me a shirt that says licensed drug dealer.
Yeah, wear that one.
Yeah, I'll wear that one to the Dare event.
Great. Yeah, we grew up going to Happy Wheels for all these different events, and now they're open in Westbrook, and I just really want to go skate my worries away, you know?
Yeah.
So after the election, I decided to finally, officially, just go full nuts.
Yeah.
And so I finally put on my skates. I've been skating around the house a little bit.
Yeah.
Lucy hates it, but I do it anyways.
You got to get a harness.
Good practice. I'm not skating anywhere with her. There was one time I tried to take her rollerblading and she pulled me onto the lawn.
Have you seen those people who run with their dogs?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you not get dragged?
My dog would pull me into traffic so fast. She would kill both of us so fast.
Or the people with the bike. I feel like the bike, it's more reasonable because you can always abandon the bike and the bike will just drag along. And
how do you abandon the bike while you're on it?
Jump off.
How? You're moving. I think longboard/skateboard is the only way I would feel safe. Like Ian will longboard with Lucy sometimes. But that's because he can very easily
You're not
jump off it.
clipped into the bike. Well, maybe you are.
But if you could be. But also if you're like cruising and the dog is pulling the bike, I don't know how you would jump. Oh, just fall backwards?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't sound safe. Lucy I did take her on the bike once and she almost killed me.
You could just fall to the side.
You might guess. I don't do that. I say don't do that.
Graceful fall to the side.
No.
You're going to get beat up, but that's the risk you take.
I would say don't take the risk. I would say don't do it. If you're on wheels that you can't easily and safely bail out of, I say don't bring a dog. Just you in the open road. But yeah, I've been wearing my roller skates. It's really fucking hard. I'm like, how are these so hard?
Do you have the little stopper on the front?
Yes, but
how
it's
do you
really
not like fall forward. Like
I'm mostly afraid of falling backward.
Oh.
It's really like it'd be so easy to slip and fall backwards. So I think I'm like really leaning forward, and I don't think that's proper form anyways.
Do you wear a helmet at Happy Wheels?
At Happy Wheels, I don't know, but I definitely wear my helmet outside.
Oh,
I am
for sure.
not roller. Even in the house, I wear my helmet. So I'm like, if I fall backwards off these roller skates and like give myself a traumatic brain injury on the hardwood floor because I was fucking roller skating in my living room, how lame is that?
Oh,
no,
man.
I'll wear a helmet.
That's a story you like make up when you're at, you know, the emergency room. You're like, I got hit by a car.
yeah. Definitely wasn't roller skating alone in my home.
In the home and tripped on a rug.
Yeah. But Ian's been going out with me while he'll like walk Lucy on a walk and I'll roller skate next to them. And if we get to like a little hill, he'll kind of pull me up or push me up the hill.
That's awfully nice of him.
Yeah. He'll like hold my arm if I'm like on tough gravel. Part of it is I bought derby skates and I think they're just meant for indoors and I'm using them outdoors.
There's a derby place up in my neck.
I think there's one in Portland as well. I know there's like a
Oh, you got to join. You got to join a derby
I think
league.
I kind of eventually want to. I think I'd be good at it.
I think
I'm tough. I got a low center of gravity.
You would be so good at roller derby.
I'm a sturdy gal.
Yeah, you could. And you could make like T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
And join a team. Watch out for your fingers, though. I'm always afraid like you're gonna get your fingers pinched.
Yeah.
You need those.
I love the women that do like the tricks at the skate park. The only thing is they never wear helmets. It's like you're doing a backflip on concrete and you're not wearing a helmet.
Wear a helmet.
Please, no matter how confident you are in your skills, anything can happen. Always wear a helmet.
We should just wear a helmet in public. Me. Yeah, just walking around sometimes
like
in
Griffin
Boston.
Pye,
Yeah.
Haley's little brother, when he was really little, he would wear a bike helmet everywhere he went. There's a picture of him.
Well, that's why he has such a big head now.
Yeah,
because it's nice and safe.
Yeah, nice and safe. There's a picture of him when he was like 5 years old washing the family car that was in the Portland Press Herald, and it's him in a bike helmet washing the car. Just walking around. Can never be too safe.
Cute. That's very cute.
It is very cute.
I feel like sometimes when we lived in Boston and you're like trying to cross the street and there's potholes and I'm like, I need a helmet just to get to school, you know?
Honestly, it's stressful. I almost walked out in front of a car in Boston once.
Yeah. It's easy to do because they
easy to do.
Creep right up on you.
There's
no pedestrians do not have the right of way in Boston.
No.
Even though we think we do. No. I think everybody thinks that in Boston, the rule is everybody thinks that they have the right of way and no one ever does.
Yeah.
And if you just go in with that mindset, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Defensive walking.
Defensive walking, defensive driving, defensive
biking.
Standing there waiting for the bus.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Always be on the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a roller skater.
I'm
and
excited for this journey.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. And, you know, balancing activities are really good for your cerebellum, which ADHDers have smaller and weaker cerebellums. So anything you can do to work on balance is a positive. So bust out your roller skates and come join me at Happy Wheels, please.
And if you have any tips for Grace,
oh my God,
write 'em
please
in.
help me. I need help. I'm like, should I take lessons? Like, on one hand, you're like, I don't know, it's just moving on wheels. How hard could it be? But also, as I was doing it, I'm like, I feel like there's more technique to this than I'm understanding.
YouTube would teach us.
Yeah.
We got a YouTube.
I got to get like my form, like proper form, you know?
I'm excited for this.
Thank you. I'm excited too. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Ah.
All right, Kristin.
Yes.
Well, that brings us to business is someone should start, just not us.
Yeah. And if you haven't realized by now, listeners.
Yeah.
This is a Just Segs episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't say that, but
no, we didn't.
It
was implied, but I feel like we should say it for those who have a hard time picking up on that.
Yeah. And we've talked about doing this third segment as switching off between I'm so quirky and business is someone should start. Lately, we've been doing a lot of businesses.
I think we just go with our feels. Yeah. One day we'll have quirks and one day we'll have businesses.
Yeah.
And some days we'll have more businesses and quirks and some days we'll have more quirks and businesses.
But we've been in a real business mindset.
With just that
rise and grind,
America,
pound that sand.
Capitalism, bootstraps, and get that dollar.
Yeah, we're all about the bottom line. We're all about that, getting those dollars. So let's do that business song and then I'll share my business.
All right.
Hit it, Jane.
Yeah.
All right. Business, 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 business. Yeah.
I love it.
That jazzy little number was brought to you by Jane Olsen.
Please check out her SoundCloud.
Yes.
She's an amazing composer.
Yeah. We love her.
And we love her so much.
All right. My business, Someone Should Start, Just Not Us. I don't even remember how it started, but essentially you hire a person to they can either be drunk for it, or if they're a really good actor, they can pretend to be drunk.
Yeah.
Either way, you got a drunk person.
Yeah.
You hire them to say the things that you've always wanted to say to someone.
I have a question.
Yes.
I would volunteer to be this person.
Great.
Charity work.
Got our first
here.
employee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't even need to pay me.
All right. It could be a nonprofit.
Yeah. Nonprofit.
Yeah.
I volunteer my time.
Do you want to act? Do you want to get drunk for real?
Oh, no. I'm going to get wasted.
Yeah.
I do better.
What's it called?
Alcohol. Liquid courage?
No, when you're acting, when you're method acting.
Method.
You're a full method actor.
I love it. Yeah, I would fully, I'm in my brat phase, a brat, not brat, but a brat phase.
Yes.
And yeah, I think I'd be the perfect person. I'll send you my CV.
Okay. All right. We'll take it into consideration. Yeah. But like, there are certain, and I'm not talking about like, this isn't being used for huge revelations, you know, like your parents are getting divorced or like.
It could be.
We've
just started this business.
You're right. It could be anything. I'm thinking.
You have a tier level of like small things. Like those pants don't actually really look as good as you think.
Yes. Your haircut is out of style.
Mm-hmm.
Like things that would be things that would be helpful to say to someone, but it would be too mean to directly say
Eyebrow
it to them.
blindness.
Yes. Oh my God. Perfect. Or like
blush blindness.
Yes,
Another one.
Eyeliner blindness.
Ooh, yes.
Like that woman who was only putting eyeliner on the bottom lids and not the tops.
Do that
and people were like, what if you tried it on the tops? Changed her life.
Yes.
We need more people to share those little tidbits of things that like would be really hurtful and embarrassing to probably come from a close friend. But like a random drunk girl in the bathroom can say like, I think you'd look better.
Less lip filler is better sometimes.
Yes. And then it's
and it
like,
doesn't have to be looks. It could be like,
it can be anything.
Your boyfriend's a dick and you should dump him.
Yes. Or like it could be about like maybe you got bad breath and no one wants to tell you, you know? Maybe you have a really annoying habit that everyone's just being too polite to tell you about it. Like everyone knows that you're picking your nose and they all see you sneaking it, but no one wants to say anything.
First of all, everybody picks their nose.
Yeah, but not in
two
public.
People. Those who pick their nose and those who lie
about it.
Okay,
I agree.
Let's all be honest.
Well, like, okay, let's say you're a public nose picker.
Okay, that's a different story.
I'm getting away with it.
Like
no one has said
really,
anything.
like, up in there.
You need a drunk person to come along and be like, stop doing that, you know?
Yeah.
You can't be mad at them because they're drunk. They're a stranger. You don't know them. And then they can kind of say these things that are ultimately going to be helpful to the person. It's not just used for cruelty. I really have this idea of like constructive criticism. Like there's an episode of Seinfeld where Elaine is friends with this woman who has a really, really outdated hairstyle.
Yeah.
But no one will tell her. And so they're like hoping Kramer will come in and make a comment about her hairstyle. Kramer is essentially the drunk girl in the situation.
I love this.
Except the problem in that episode is Kramer loves the outdated hairstyle and he tells her don't change it. So it backfires.
Oh,
but
no.
I think we could have something going here, you know?
Or like, let's say your friend is like, this could be like, let's say your guy friend is like really bad at hitting on women or like, you know, like you can have a drunk girl just be like, you're coming off too strong.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like, you know, maybe ask a question about the girl and not just info dump stuff about you.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to hear about your finance major.
Exactly. Yeah.
No one cares about the stocks you invested in.
Exactly.
Turns out it's really boring.
Yeah. And no one cares.
No one cares.
Constructive criticism, you know?
Yeah.
It's like ultimately going to help that person grow. But they're just it's a little awkward to kind of bring it up.
Right.
You put have some this personal relationship. Yeah.
And like, let's say they take it really badly.
Yeah.
Then you're in the clear. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she said that.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
She's
and then
sloppy.
you know oh, she must have been drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, if it is hurtful to them, they can kind of in their mind be like, well, she was just like a drunk girl kind of rambling, you know?
Yeah. Don't take it personally. She's drunk.
Yeah, she's drunk. She doesn't know what she's saying. So I feel like, it's kind of like a scapegoat. It's kind of like a good way. Just
you're hiring a scapegoat.
Yeah,
and that scapegoat is a drunk girl in the bathroom.
Yeah. And like, what's a better way to hear constructive criticism than from like a drunk girl in the bathroom who ultimately has like the best of intentions for you?
Yeah.
Like they want
always
to
trust
help
the
you.
drunk girl in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
I've
made
like
such lovely friends in there who I'll never see again.
You'll never see them again, but
so
they're like the most
complimentary,
kind, and honest people you'll ever meet.
Yes. True community happens.
Right. We were just talking about community.
Yeah.
We start in the girls' bathroom.
Yes.
And we go from there.
Yes.
All right?
Everything starts in the
Ladies,
girls' bathroom.
Let's bring that energy in the drunk girls' bathroom.
Yep.
To the rest of the world.
Yeah.
That's what we really need.
Yeah. And then only then will we have true peace and utopia.
True harmony.
Yes. I think we got something here.
Yeah.
I think this is maybe
what would you call this business?
What will heal the world?
Like maybe you've been wearing a really orangey spray tan for the last, I don't know, 16 years.
Yeah.
What you really need is a drunk girl to be like, yo, you really should get something that has more of an olivey color tone because the orange is really orange and it's starting to look a little crazy.
Yeah, you're more of like a yellow skin tone. And
yeah,
so
this isn't complementary to your natural skin tone.
Yeah.
And it looks a little silly.
Yeah. And that's something where maybe if it came from a friend, you would feel really hurt and really embarrassed and feel like they're just like criticizing you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes from an objective person who you don't have this type of emotional relationship with, that's just a little tip, a little life tip,
like,
you know?
Oh,
that's what it is, little life tips.
Maybe
that would make you feel bad hearing it from someone you care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
If a drunk girl told me my tan was too tan, I'd be like, oh my God, you're right, it is. Like, I don't think I'd be offended by that because she has no skin in this game.
Yeah.
Like, she's not saying it to hurt me.
Yeah.
She's literally just telling me because she cares about me.
And they don't have to be mean about it. They can just be
No.
drunk and say, hey,
I think it'd be much more flattering.
if you weren't as tan.
Yeah.
Maybe
Don't worry
level
so
up
much about
on the
being
color
tan.
or level down.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know how that works.
Level down, sideways,
Down,
whatever.
Level adjacent.
Yes.
Level away from
Change
whatever.
a level.
Yeah. Whatever
Yeah.
level you're on, let's not be on it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we got something.
Yeah.
As far as a name goes, it could be called something like Drunken Whispers.
Ooh,
is a fun name.
That is a good name.
Loose Lips.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Right?
Although I think yes, but I feel like it's yes. Yes. I like it.
Right?
I feel like that could be anything,
Yeah.
but I like how it's that.
I also like how it is that. Yeah. Very well put, Kristin.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, if you have any other ideas for what we could name this business or like what else we could do with this business model, let us know because I'm sure there's lots of potential of other things we could use drunk people for.
Yeah.
You know, utilize them. We got lots of drunks in this country.
Got plenty of drunks.
Put them to work. Put those drunks to work is what I say. Give them a job. Stimulate the economy.
Good use of our drunks. You know, they're an underutilized community.
Yeah. Have them be the messengers of our society. To spread the messages we're all too scared to hear.
Exactly.
You know? That could be our slogan.
I really enjoy that.
Thank you.
I think they
really
should be
excited
on the
about
news.
this business. Yeah.
I think we should have like a weekly forum where we have a drunk girl tell us what's happening.
Yeah. Just in the bathrooms.
Just in the bathrooms on the socials, just being like, listen.
And I think you're right. I think we could use it to help people get out of like bad relationships with people, to be like, hey, this guy was like hitting on me, you know, and I saw you talking to him and I just want you to know, like, not to break up couples that don't deserve to be broken up, but like if you truly know that a guy's a bad guy, like this guy's cheating on your friend, but she like, he keeps getting away with it or she's in denial, hire a drunk girl to be like, hey, he texted me last night for a hookup, you know?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Objective.
There you go.
We got something. This is a gold mine.
I love it.
All right. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts. All right.
All right.
It's finally the time that you have been waiting for,
I've
Kristin.
been so pumped about this info dump because I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I've been listening to this. We're talking about, I got an info dump and I needed to like, we didn't record last week and like among many things that I was dealing with, including a lot of sadness and badness, I felt like I had all this like pent up information I needed to like explode onto the public.
You got a story in your soul.
I got a story in my heart and it needs to get out.
Let's get it out of there.
Okay.
First, we got to do our info dump song, which we get to do because we're excited about it.
Everybody's agreed.
We're happy.
We're all excited about it.
We love this song.
Yeah.
We can't wait.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Ready?
This is our info. These are our dumps. Put on your headphones, sit on your rumps. Learn about facts we really don't need. It's a hyperfocus as you can see.
Yeah. We love it.
It's growing on me. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song. We worked hard on it. For sure.
We put work into it, yeah.
Work was put into it.
Yes.
And for
that was the result.
A period of time.
Maybe a drunk girl will tell us in the bathroom that's not very good, and then we'll change it.
But
until then,
yeah.
That's our song.
Yep.
All right. What are you dumping on us?
I got a dump for you. All right. We're talking about my personal favorite band, Fleetwood Mac. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
We love them. And more specifically, we're talking about their like love parallelogram. It's not really a love triangle. It's different. So I'm calling it a love parallelogram.
All right, I love it.
So Fleetwood Mac was a band that started in the 1960s. It originally started as like a bluesy band and then turned into like this kind of rock pop band. It's one of the greatest bands of all times. They've been performing for 4 decades. My personal favorite. Arguably one of the messiest bands of all times, and I want to talk about it.
Please, I've like genuinely been wanting to learn about.
They're
this
like
topic.
Notoriously messy. There's a lot of drama going on.
I know, but I've never understood the dynamics.
All their songs reflect that. Like they ran so Taylor Swift could crawl, you know? Like Taylor Swift reflects a lot of her love life in her songs. She probably took a lesson from Fleetwood Mac because that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, Taylor.
Yeah. No, I'm no shame to Taylor. I'm just saying that like they did it first, years and years before.
But their messiness was like contained within the band, right?
Within the band, without of the band. Messy.
Okay.
So little disclaimer. I'm not a historian, and I'm definitely not a music historian. And we could talk about, I mean, there's so many things to talk about with Fleetwood Mac, like their impact on, you know, they started, you know, in the 60s, early 70s. We can start about like where their influence came because they started very bluesy, very blues band. We could talk about how their music changed, like the future of music, but we're not. We're going to very specifically stick to the drama. That's why we're here.
Okay. The love parallelogram.
The love parallelogram that is happening. And we're going to listen to some songs, at least Grace and I are. I don't think we can actually play them without being sued.
Kristin will sing them to avoid the copyright laws. And she has committed to this.
No.
She has told me
definitely.
She cannot wait to harmonize on mic.
Yeah.
So get ready.
There's one thing I'm really good at, it's singing. It's not going to happen.
We always say that.
But I have left in all of the resources, I have left all of the YouTube video. I have a list of references for like all of the information I use, and then music references, which is all of the YouTube videos to all the songs. And we're gonna probably mostly talk about their Rumors album, which is like their best album. You can fight me on that. I don't think anybody will. And we'll go from there.
You can probably read some of the lyrics of their song.
Yeah.
If that would be helpful.
Don't worry, because I wrote them out. Okay. Because we're going to talk about them.
All right.
So let's talk about the main players. And Fleetwood Mac was this revolving door of musicians. But the main players are these people. There's Mick Fleetwood, who obviously main guy. He's the drummer. He's one of the original members, obviously, and one of the creators of the band. There's John Green. He's
the author.
Not the author. He's a musician. He's a guitarist, and he's an original member. And then there's John McVie. He's the bassist, and he's another original member. There's Kristin McVie, who is married to John McVie. She's a keyboardist. She does vocals. She's fantastic. We love her. Okay. Lindsey Buckingham. He does vocals. He does the guitar. He's arguably one of the best guitarists we've had here. There's one song we won't talk about because we're not talking about music. We're talking about drama. But his ability to play the guitar is very good. There's one song where his plucking is incredibly complicated. He's very good at what he does. And then we've got our what most people know, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
our girl.
Stevie.
We love her too. We love them all.
Do we?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all their worst enemies, you know?
Yeah. Do you know why the band was called Fleetwood Mac? Like why it was named after?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think, no.
Okay, sorry I asked.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a story behind it, but we're not getting into it.
Okay.
And then, so these are the main players. There's other people, we're going to talk about them, but they don't make as much of an appearance in the band as these guys. And we'll just get into it.
Okay.
So in the beginning, the band was originally founded by Mick Fleetwood, John Green, Jeremy Spencer, he was not a main player, but he was one of the original guys, and John McVie in 1967. Their first album was called Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, which I guess John Green was not like happy about. But they released it. It reached number 4 in the UK. It was like this kind of bluesy album because they were originally kind of a blues band. Their first song was called number 1 was called Albatross, which is an instrumental song, but it's very bluesy. I'm going to play a little bit of it for you.
Who's Peter Green?
He's one of the original members. Oh, no. I don't know why it's called Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, but John Green was one of the original members.
Yeah, so why do they call it Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac?
Don't know.
Doing lots of drugs.
Yes. So this is Albatross.
Pretty cool.
So that's it. Okay.
All right. You can listen along with all the songs since we legally can't play the songs on here.
We can't legally play the songs, but you can listen along.
Yeah.
You can play Albatross from Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, there's a link to it. So let's talk about Peter Green.
Please.
So incredibly talented guitarist.
Wait, John Green. Or is it Peter Green?
Is it Peter Green or John Green? I'm already failing. Peter Green. Why did I say John Green? Peter Green. Sorry, guys.
This whole time it's been Peter Green?
It's been Peter the whole time.
Okay. God,
There's John
you and freaking Peters and Pauls. The one time it is Peter. And you're like, it's John.
Okay, so...
All right, so that makes a lot more sense of why they called it
Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, which is their first album. Peter Green is the guitarist. He's the original member.
There is no John Green.
There is no John Green. I'm sorry. There's a John McVie.
John Green is an author.
There's a Jeremy Spencer. Okay. Sorry.
All right. Oh, Jeremy Spencer was a member of the Children of God. A super abusive...
We're going to talk about it.
Thank God.
Okay. Don't worry.
Thank God.
Because it's super...
Uncle Jerry.
There's a lot of drama here. So, in the beginning, Mick Fleetwood, Peter Green, Jeremy Spencer, and John McVie. In 1967, they released their first album, Albatross. It was great. The album's not called Albatross. Their first big hit was called Albatross. It's instrumental. And I suggest you listen to it. It's great.
Yeah.
Peter Green, he was incredibly talented. He's unfortunately passed away. He started playing guitar at the age of 10.
God.
And during 1967, 1970 timeframe, while they were like getting popular, he picked up a pretty heavy LSD habit. And he would often play concerts while tripping the entire time.
Whoa.
He even wrote a song called The Green Manalishi, which was definitely inspired by an LSD dream, like induced dream. It's like a really trippy song. And I'm sure there's like, we could like deep dive into like the meaning of the song, but we won't because we're focused on the drama.
It's crazy to think about someone like using LSD
casually.
Like
hardcore LSD.
Like psychedelics, often it's like an experience. And you're like, wow, I learned so much from that. I'm going to like spend the next few weeks like absorbing the messages I learned. But to just think of like waking up from an LSD trip and like doing it the next day. It's not like heroin or something where it's like a daily thing.
But like he did it
like
quite a
once
bit.
in a while.
And he was like always tripping, like especially in concerts. So then like he's tripping during the concerts. It's like kind of like... You know, like the other band members are like, hey, can you not be like fully tripping at a while we're trying to like all play together? But I don't know if he like really thought like, oh, it's making me better or if it's inspiring him to write better music. And
like, it's not really a functional drug, you know, even something like cocaine is just going to like give you whatever boost for your performance. Like a hallucinogenic is like, you're not even in this reality with everyone else. How are you standing? Yeah. How are you just like operating
Could you
in
imagine
reality?
You're like the walls are melting and you're like singing to like 1,000 people?
Yeah.
You know? I just
like in front of a big crowd.
Anyway, he picked up this really big LSD habit. It kind of led to some contention in the band. And eventually in 1970, he left the band. He wanted to go out on his own. He did release a couple solo albums, but he never would reach the fame that Fleetwood Mac would.
Real Chad Michael Murray of the music world.
So he's out.
Okay.
So in 1971, while touring in the U.S., Jeremy Spencer literally went out to get a magazine and never came back. Turns out he joined this religious cult, the Children of God, super abusive.
He was flirty fished.
Yeah. And so he just joins this cult. He never, they had to like go out looking for him, and then they found out like, because he literally was like, hey, I'll be right back, I'm just gonna get a magazine and like cigarettes or whatever.
Classic.
And he just never came back, so they were like kind of concerned, and then they figured out like through the grapevine, oh, he's joined like this religious cult. He
became like kind of like the Tom Cruise of in Scientology. Jeremy Spencer became this like big celebrity that they would do things to keep him around, giving him access to like little girls to abuse. And he was like very abusive. If any of you out there follow the knitting cult lady on TikTok, she grew up in the Children of God and then she left and joined the U.S. Army. And then she wrote a book. She's like studied cult structure. She's a scholar of cults. And she talks a lot in her book. I read her book, Uncultured. And she talks a lot about Uncle Jerry and how this guy was so abusive. Uncle Jerry, he was like the creepiest one among them. Turns out it's this guy from fucking Fleetwood Mac. So if you read her book and you read about Uncle Jerry, it's literally this guy from Fleetwood Mac.
Holy shit.
And they got him by flirty fishing, which is a technique that cults would use where they kind of like prostitute out their members to like be sexual with potential members to like bring them into the group.
Oh my God.
And they would have like the children do it as well. Like the women and children, they would have them do like the flirty fishing. Oh yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. Children of God is crazy. If you want to look into it, it's, I don't know, be warned.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So yeah. So he went to the Children of God.
That's crazy. Just like leaving Fleetwood Mac.
Like on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like, bye.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's another guy who made a brief appearance, right? So Jeremy Spencer's gone. They got to replace him. They replace him with this guy named Danny Kirwan. He's a self-taught guitarist. He joined the band in 1968. So I guess he wasn't replaced by Jeremy Spencer, but I think he got like a promotion in the band after Jeremy Spencer left. But he developed quite the alcohol dependence during his time with the band. In 1972, right before a concert, Kirwan smashed a guitar and refused to go on stage, ultimately leaving the band that night. And then the band had to recruit a drummer to take his place. But that drummer was quickly fired in 1973 after they found out that they were having the drummer turned guitarist was having an affair with Mick Fleetwood's wife.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
God. These guys are already banging each other.
I know. During this whole time, and Stevie Nicks has had, I think she had like a 60 minutes interview where she basically was like a lot of weed, a lot of cocaine, so much cocaine, and a lot of alcohol. And that's the top 3 drugs that they use.
I don't know how anyone goes on tour and doesn't fall into some kind of substance use.
I don't know
it's like asking so much of you.
You're
like at 9 p.m. tonight.
You're going to perform until and then you're
midnight.
Back on the road.
Yep.
It's just,
you're sleeping
so
on a
much.
bus. You're sleeping in motels. You're like being forced to have this really high energy
all the
every
time.
Single night.
Yeah.
Like cocaine,
it's
obviously.
Crazy.
I'd be doing coke every night.
Every night.
I wouldn't be. Yeah.
There's no way.
Crazy lifestyle.
Right.
Wait, so when did Stevie Nicks join the band?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
Well, you made a comment about her.
I know. We're not there.
Okay.
So 1973, the band temporarily disbands mid-tour because everything's happening.
That's crazy.
There's an affair. Fleetwood Mac's wife's cheating on him. Or Mick Fleetwood's wife.
Fleetwood Mac.
So they temporarily disband. And now the band manager is stuck with all these tour date obligations with no band. So that's like a huge financial hit. So he's like, screw this. He gets other people, other musicians. He flops them together. He calls it the new Fleetwood Mac. And they play the same songs, calling it the new Fleetwood Mac, which then incited a lawsuit because then the original members were like, yo, this is our band. You can't just like have people come in and sing our songs and other songs and have it called Fleetwood Mac. So then there was a lawsuit on who owned the name Fleetwood Mac that was settled outside of court. All of this were only in 1973.
Oh my gosh.
The band was started in 1968.
That's crazy.
So it was like 5 years and all of this has happened.
Think of how many bands this happened to that just like broke up and then nothing
never got together.
We never heard of them again. Crazy that Fleetwood Mac like survived after this.
Right. It's crazy. And so that was in 1973. Okay. Now 1 year later, 1974, the band's like, let's get back together. So we've got Fleetwood, we've got McVie, and we got a guy named Bob Welch.
A great rock star name.
But I think there's a Bob Welch and like a Bob Waters. And I think a lot of my sources got them confused. I'm going with Bob Welch. Maybe I'm wrong. You're welcome to call me out. Like I said, I'm not a historian, but there's a guy named Bob Welch.
Okay. 3
of them. And then they also add John McVie's wife, Kristin McVie. She comes on, joins the band as a keyboardist and vocals. And she's lovely. So they get the band back together. And then later that year, there's a whole saga of like how they met Lindsey Buckingham because he was touring with Eric Clapton. Doesn't matter. They find Lindsey Buckingham and they offer him a spot to be on the band. And he says, sure. as long as my girlfriend, Stevie Nicks, who's a vocalist, also joins.
Great
and
decision.
They say, great. And then Bob leaves. I don't know why.
See ya.
So now we have Fleetwood, John and Kristin McVie. We have Lindsey Buckingham, and we have Stevie Nicks.
Okay.
Now we got the band.
Solid lineup.
All right. So here's a solid lineup. 1975, their self-titled album, Fleetwood Mac, is released. Easily reaches #1 with songs like Landslide, which I think you're familiar with. Most people say. Yeah. And then you also have their major hit was Rhiannon. Yeah. You're familiar with it?
I am.
Okay.
I know them both.
Then we can move on.
Dang
No. So now they're super successful and they become working then, and they're like, we've made it. And they're working on what would become their most popular album, Rumors. I have an original copy of it from my parents. I play it quite often. I don't think I should, but I do.
Shouldn't you?
Well, because it's a record. I'm worried, like, if I play it a lot, it will get damaged.
I don't think so. They're meant to be played.
I know. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I think it's the jacket covers that's worth the most, but...
Yeah, just be careful with those.
Yeah. So they work on their most popular album, Rumors. During this time, John and Kristin McVie get a divorce.
Great.
Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks break up. And Mick Fleetwood and Stevie Nicks start an affair.
Ooh.
Or I guess it's not an affair, but they start like sleeping with each other.
Yeah.
And fun story is that Stevie Nicks, there's this famous photograph that was on the Times of all the band members. So Buckingham, the McVies, Fleetwood, and Nicks all in bed together. It's a very famous photo on the cover of Times. And she said during that photo shoot, that's what inspired, like, brought the idea that, like, maybe she should sleep with Fleetwood. And that's, I'm
like, hey, we're in bed together.
Yeah, we're in bed together. Maybe we should
took the next step.
Yeah. So which is wild.
That is wild.
Yeah. So I'll never look at that photograph again.
Yeah.
The same way.
God.
So this all happens while they're working on Rumors. So if you go through their album On Rumors, it's all inspired and written. All these songs are written about like relationship turmoil and relationship issues. But they're like amongst the band members, you know, it's about them, each other, which is wild. So a couple ones are one called Go On Your Way, which is kind of self-explanatory. It was written by Lindsey Buckingham about his breakup with Stevie Nicks.
Not going very far.
Yeah. She's like right there. Yeah.
Still right there.
It's kind of a big deal. There's a song called Kristin wrote called You Make Lovin' Fun. And that was about a lover that was not John McVie.
Hell yeah, Kristin.
Yep, she wrote her own song.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely song.
Love that.
I'm going to play a little bit.
Okay. Funky.
Yeah. Funky, fun. Basically, it's like, do you believe in miracles? Like, because I think it's time to try. You make lovin' fun. Basically, it's about
getting that new dick.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. She just wrote a song about new dick, and it was great.
Good for you, Kristin.
Yeah. And so then we get in, and then Lindsey Buckingham wrote another song about his breakup with Stevie called Secondhand News.
Lindsey, let it go.
So
it's so crazy to be like, I wrote this song about our breakup. You perform it. Go.
We're going to get into that. All right, we're gonna get into it. Yeah, because
crazy to be like, let's perform the song.
They go on tour. It's all these songs are about each other, and like, you know, it's wild because they're all like sleeping with each other, but then not sleeping with each other, but then sleeping with a different person, and then they're writing songs about it, and they're like, this is. But maybe that's just like how they get their feels out, and I guess maybe it's like therapeutic. But then to be like, I wrote this song about our breakup. I need you to go sing lyrics for it. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Or like, I wrote this song, please, like, here's the guitar chords
learn the
song. Yeah, about our breakup. So with that, with Secondhand News, very clearly about his breakup with Stevie Nicks. The very first lyrics are, I know there's nothing to say. Someone has taken my place. And later in the song, he goes, one thing I think you should know, I ain't gonna miss you when you go. So it's like, cool.
Yeah.
She's like right there on stage with you. But yeah. Crazy to me. And then the other song on Rumors called The Chain. And this was the only song on, this is like one of their most popular songs. It was featured in Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's why it got, like, repopularized. It's a fantastic song. But it was the only song on the album that was written by all 5 members all together.
Whoa,
and it is
I didn't know that.
all about kind of their turmoil and just going through it. It's a fantastic song. I can still hear you saying, never break the chains. Break the chains. Yeah, it kind of goes like that.
Just like that.
It's just dealing with breakups and betrayal, and it was...
It's a great one.
It's a great song. Highly recommend you take a listen.
Yeah.
We'll take a pause. And now you're back.
Yes.
You've listened to it.
Yep.
You're in the mood. Let's talk about Silver Springs. All right.
Please.
And you may say, well, Kristin, Silver Springs wasn't on the original 1975 release of Rumors. And you're like, yeah, I know. Right? It wasn't, but it was written at the same time. It was written by Stevie Nicks about her breakup with Lindsey Buckingham. It was supposed to be on the Rumors album, but due to they had to get rid of a song. It was too long of an album. They couldn't fit they literally could not fit the space on the record. And so they had to get rid of one song, and they picked that. And literally Fleetwood Mac, Mick Fleetwood, whatever his name is, God, he like brought Stevie Nicks out into a parking lot in the recording studio, and he's like, hey, we have to get rid of your song, Silver Springs. It's not going to fit on the album. Meanwhile, Lindsey Buckingham has like 4 songs about his breakup. She has like 2. She has Dreams, and she has another one. I forget what it is. And she's like so hurt. And I think she yelled at him. She was like really upset by it because he had so many songs. And then she was like really proud of this song. And they just like got rid of it, got it off the album. And she really wanted it to be on that album. However, it was later released on The Dance album. That was like in the 90s. And then if you get the remastered, like if you go and you get the CD or whatever, and it's a remastered version of the album that was released in 2004, Silver Springs is back on, which I think is like Justification.
Yeah.
But it's like such a fucking great song. And the chorus, so it's about her breakup and her relationship with Lindsey Buckingham. And the chorus goes, time casts a spell on you, but you won't forget me. I know I could have loved you, but you would not let me. And then it says, I follow you down to the sound of my voice will haunt you. You'll never get away from the sound of a woman that loved you. So, damn, right? Like,
is that the one that she like performs on stage? Okay.
Yes. So now we're going to quickly jump to 1997 for a hot second, and then we'll get back into like the 80s.
Okay.
So 1997, Silver Springs has never been heard by the public or performed in public. They release the Dance album. It's like one of their many get back together tours. They agree to do a concert for MTV where they perform a bunch of songs, and this is the first time they're publicly performing this song. And if you watch, and I of course link the video, and I think everybody should
yes, go watch it.
Go watch it right now.
Fun.
It is absolutely like so the song is great, but what is even greater is like the death stare that Stevie Nicks gives Lindsey Buckingham. And I think they were very civil when this happened. Obviously the band got back together, but I think it just brings up a lot of emotions. You know, you're singing this very emotional song,
and it was cut, and now she finally gets to perform it.
And now she finally gets to perform it after all these years. It's a fantastic song. So she's literally giving like death daggers at Lindsey Buckingham, who's just kind of like, oh. Yeah. And like the comment was, it was like as if they were the only 2 people in the room. And it is wild.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy to see.
And I'm going to make you watch it. Is it 5 minutes long?
Okay.
The 4-minute mark is what we want, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to make you watch the whole thing because I think it's worth it.
Great.
All right. So we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. So we took a little musical interlude. I highly suggest you watch that video. It's fantastic. So basically that song, Silver Springs, was because they were on the road and she was going by, I forget, it was upstate New York or somewhere. And there was a small town called Silver Springs. And she was imagining oh, we could have had this great life together. We could have lived in a place like Silver Springs. And it was all this like would be, but no, we broke up and now it's gone. So back to 1977. So Silver Springs is taken off the Rumors album. Stevie's upset about it. She gets revenge in the end because that was a brilliant performance. 1977, the Rumors tour begins. So the album's released. It's a huge hit, as it should be. It's fantastic.
Wonderful.
And so they go on tour, and tour is full of drugs, cocaine, marijuana, alcohol, and lots of sex. Fleetwood Mac, Mick Fleetwood, what the fuck?
Is it confusing or something,
It's
Kristin?
so confusing. Mick Fleetwood.
Why do they call it Fleetwood Mac if his first name isn't even Mac? Where did the Mac come from?
I don't know. I didn't think this was going to be an issue.
Well, it's a big issue. I'm pulling
issue.
a Kristin, and I'm getting really, really caught on a very specific detail that doesn't matter.
I'm getting caught.
I can't move on.
I know it matters, but in the context of this episode, it doesn't matter, but I'm still...
It matters to me.
Matters to you. I don't have an answer for you.
Okay.
Maybe one day.
No way to know.
There's no way to know.
No.
1977. We're on tour. Rumors has been released.
Okay.
Smash hit. Cocaine. Marijuana. Alcohol.
Devil's lettuce.
And sex.
Yeah. Devil's sex.
The devil's sex.
Yeah. Yeah. Sex.
It's just sex.
Yeah.
Mick Fleetwood and his ex-wife, they get back together.
Oh my God.
But then they divorce. Because...
Just let it rest. You separated for a reason.
Because Nick's and Fleetwood have an affair.
Oh my God. Stevie.
I know. They're all their worst enemies.
I know.
1978, they start working on their next album, Tusk. Is a little bit different. It's a little bit experimental. It's a great album. I love it. Mick Fleetwood starts an affair, or I don't know if it's an affair or it's just sex with Stevie Nicks' best friend, Sarah, who is also married to someone else.
Well, that would be an affair then.
If
she's married.
Oh, yeah. That is an affair.
Yeah.
And
Stop shitting. This is the thing. Stop shitting where you're eating. Like,
yes.
There's so many people in the world. You got all these fans. I'm sure you got plenty of women who want to sleep with you.
Sleep with other people.
Stevie Nicks' best friend. How original.
Right. So, and then eventually Mick and Sarah marry in 1988, but then they divorce in 1995.
Oh, God.
1980, Buckingham and Nicks get in a huge fight backstage. And actually, Lindsey Buckingham threw his guitar at Stevie Nicks.
Yikes.
Christine McVie attacks Lindsey Buckingham. Yeah, this is why we love her.
Get him, Christine.
Attacks him and slaps him.
Yeah.
She said it was the first time she slapped anybody ever in her life.
Good for her.
And the bodyguards had to, like, break it up.
Christine. I'm team Christine in this whole thing.
Christine, she's fantastic.
Stevie, I love you, but you're really getting caught up in the drama.
Messy.
Yeah, you're having affairs. You're sleeping with these guys. Come
Christine
on.
also...
But it sounds like she and her partner separated, and then she was just
her partner who's in the band, John.
Okay.
Who's like, I don't know if John's just like here for the music or what, but everybody else is really messy. And then there's John.
Yeah. Just John.
Just John. So 1981, Stevie Nicks, she launches her solo career. It's successful. And then after that, there's a series of like the band breaking up, the band getting back together. Mick Fleetwood files for bankruptcy after spending all of his money on drugs in 1984.
Great.
Stevie Nicks goes for rehab for cocaine addiction in 1986. She said she literally had a hole in her nasal cavity from snorting so much cocaine.
Oh my God.
Which can happen.
Yeah, eats away your brain.
Yes. Buckingham leaves the band in 1987, but then they all get back together in 1993 for Bill Clinton's inaugural ball.
Oh, Bill brought them back together.
Yeah, it was good old Bill.
Yeah.
And then again, famously, they get back together in 1997 for that MTV concert. Since then, they've been on again, off again, until November of 2022, where Christine McVie died at the age of 79. R.I.P. Since then, they've all said, because other band members have died, but since then they said we cannot play without Christine, and I think Mick Fleetwood famously said the band will never be brought back together without Christine.
Oh.
So that is the end of Fleetwood Mac. Their legend lives on.
Wow.
I highly suggest listening to their music.
Mm.
It's so dramatic. It's so great.
Yeah, it's so fun knowing the backstory of these songs.
Yeah, I know. And that was just like, I felt like that was just like the tip of the iceberg. And we could have like deep dove into every single song, but we won't because there was just so much.
I'm sure you could talk forever about it.
I could, but I won't. But yeah, that's the drama. Basically, I think the moral of the story is that with all that drama, a bunch of great music was made.
Yeah.
So like, was it
somehow.
worth it?
For us, I would say, yeah.
For us, for the listeners,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. It's a miracle they stayed together as long as they did, honestly.
It's crazy that they've been performing for 4 decades.
Whereas think
I
of
saw
how
them
many
in concert in like 2019. It was like one of the best days of my life. Yeah.
Think of how many like male only bands have broken up just because they like are infighting and they can't stop fighting and like one has a big ego or whatever. Meanwhile, this band, they're all banging each other.
They're literally all banging each other or each other's best friends, and they're like, we'll get back together. It's fine.
Like, we'll just write a bunch of songs about it. I'll make you sing a song.
I'm wondering, like, did it help? Was it like cathartic? You like write a song?
I bet.
I'm like, hey, I wrote this song about you. It kind of puts you on
Perform
blast.
it, bitch.
And now you got to perform it. And then they write back to you. They're like, yo, you've been really being a real bitch. I wrote a song about it.
Yeah, like would Fleetwood Mac be as great as they were if it wasn't for the drama? You know?
I don't know. I think that's a good question. Maybe I'll ask it in the polls. Like,
fuels the music.
The Rumors album would not have been without the drama. You know, there's no
drama.
way. But I don't know. Was it worth it? Would they be as great as they were without the drama? I don't know.
Never know.
I don't know. But yeah,
that was quite the dump.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, I'm happy to share. I'm glad
I learned a lot.
I've released it into the world.
Yeah, it's out there.
I feel better now.
Good.
Yeah.
You look better.
Great.
All right. Well, now that you have informatively infodumped all over the place, it is time for alternative segments.
Oh, alternative
segments.
All right, on this week's alternative segments, we're bringing back a favorite. We're doing Squirrel Trauma.
Squirrel Trauma. I suggested this because on our Facebook group, there's a couple people sharing their squirrel traumas, and it's I've actually gone back a couple times when I'm having a tough day to reread them because they're so funny, and I love it. So I feel like we should bring it back. And you have a great squirrel trauma story.
Mine isn't really funny.
It's not fun, but it's trauma.
It certainly is trauma. It's not fun and it's not funny.
Yeah.
So if you are sensitive about animals dying,
blood,
which I know we all are, but like if you're extra sensitive and you don't even want to like hear about it.
It's the nature of squirrel trauma. It's not pretty.
Yes.
And
but it's reality.
It's reality.
It's life.
Yeah.
Mine involves a rat. So if you're a rat person, oh God, please don't honestly, please turn this off. I'm so sorry.
Skip ahead like 10 minutes.
I'm traumatized by this and I don't want you guys to get secondhand trauma. So if you're okay with a rat being bashed, then I guess keep listening.
I'm ready. I'm listening.
All right. This is your final warning. And once again, this is not actually funny to me. It was very traumatic and I wish it hadn't happened. But once again, this is just like part of life and I'm going to get it.
This is what happens when you live in the woods in Maine.
Yeah.
Although you don't live in the woods.
I don't at all. I'm very much in a city.
Quite in the city, but that's okay.
We still have varmints, you know? We've been hearing some scratching in our walls for a while.
A while now.
Yeah.
We brought this up months ago.
It's kept Lucy distracted. Like normally she'll just sit and be on watch for like hours. Sometimes she'll sit in the kitchen like hoping to catch these mice.
I think that's what we heard the other day when we heard
scratching. Yeah.
Scratching.
I bet it was a ghost. I think they're living all up in there. All up in the ceiling. There's lots of ways in. This house is an old house. And
it is an old house.
We heard scritching and scratching. We were like, I don't know, it's keeping Lucy distracted. So we didn't jump on it right away. We finally got mouse traps. Ian put out a mouse trap. Turns out it wasn't mice that were causing the problem. It was rats. And so we caught a rat in the mouse trap, but because it was a rat and not a mouse, it did not kill the rat.
Oh, because most mouse traps are like
mangled it.
and it's like a very humane.
Execution.
So the most humane way to get rid of a mouse problem is to kill them quickly and efficiently.
Yes.
Which sucks.
Yeah. Because even if you go to put them outside, you have to go really far from your house. Otherwise, they'll just come right back.
And it's winter, so they'll just die out there anyway from starvation. It's a much easier, it's more humane to kill them than to release them because they don't have any like stored food or anything.
Yeah.
And they'll also, you have to get rid of them because they'll destroy your house. And
I know. And I was very much at the part where I was like, do we have to kill them? But yes, you have to kill them. But I was just like, do we? I just feel this is the like overly empathetic problem with ADHD and autism where I'm like, I feel so empathetic towards these fucking rats that I would just like let them destroy my house because I feel so bad.
I like animals unless they're in my house and they don't belong in my house.
I understand the logic of it, but still my heart is like, but what if we just like shared? Which I know is not correct.
They're gonna like chew through your wiring.
I know.
You gotta get rid of them.
Well, okay, so we finally took steps to get rid of them.
Proud of you.
We mangled this rat in a mouse trap. It wasn't strong enough to kill it. It just fucked it up. So we put it in like a big plastic container. I put like a pillow in there. We're just waiting to see if it would like be okay because it seemed like it could be okay. And we were just kind of waiting to see if we would be able to release it. I was like literally looking up rat cages. I was like, I'm going to keep this thing as a pet.
I saw
that
a problem on TikTok. This lady kept finding mice in her house, so she bought like a mouse cage, and because it was once again it was the winter.
Yeah.
But mice are different than rats.
Yes, but rats are like really good pets. Rat people are nuts about rats. They're really sweet.
Rats, not feral rats.
What are pet rats if not feral rats being kept in a cage?
Breed,
they're the same thing.
And probably vaccinated.
This one was very cute, but yeah, you're right. If it bites you,
you're gonna get rabies.
I was not thinking logically, Kristin. I was looking in this thing's cute little eyes, and I was like, oh my God, I feel like such a fucking monster. It was just not doing well.
No.
We were trying to observe it.
Some sort of like neurological damage.
I think we fucked up its spinal cord because it was kind of like stumbling around and like falling backwards.
Like
yeah, and we were like, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And that sucks because then it's like, now you have to kill this rat with your hands.
How'd you do it?
Once again, turn this off. Do not listen.
Skip ahead.
If I'm going to traumatize you. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I didn't even want to share this on the podcast. Kristin's
making
me share my squirrel trauma.
I need to know.
I was going to keep this to myself and not make anyone listen to this.
This is the definition of squirrel trauma.
This is the heart and soul of squirrel trauma. We put it in 2 trash bags, double bagged it. We're going to just drop
it. While it was alive?
Yeah.
What else? You suffocated it?
No. Oh. We put it in the bags. We were going to just like drop a weight on it and just boom, do it real fast. And I was like, Ian was going to make me drop the weight. And I was really not happy about it. I was upset. And he was like, I could probably just bash it. So I like turned around to grab something he could bash it with. He meant probably just take this bag and bash it on the floor. So he literally just took the bag, bashed it on the floor.
Oh my God.
It made such a bad noise. And I was like, you have to bash it again. Just in case.
Yeah, you have to make sure it's dead. Now.
Yeah, now that you bashed it once, you got to bash it again. He bashed it again. It's definitely dead. We were both really, really upset by it. No one wanted to do it, but it had to be done because this thing was just like suffering and being tortured by.
No, you had to do it.
We had to kill it. But God, the sound it made when it bashed the floor.
Oh my God. I would have vomited.
My dreams. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to the public. I'm sorry to the rat community. I'm sorry to the rats. I wanted to keep this rat and nurse it back to health. But ultimately, it could not be done.
You always wanted to do that because in college, when we had mice and they were literally getting into our cereal boxes, and they were like pooping on our countertops and it was like unsanitary.
Yeah.
You and Faith were like, no, we'll have a heart trap, which you never got. And then my dad pulled a dad move and he drove up to college.
Yep.
And we hid.
He told me he put out have a heart traps, but they weren't.
They weren't. He goes,
didn't he do glue traps? Which is
did glue traps in the basement, and then every time we tutored Joel, I had to make him check the glue traps. That was the deal. He gets free tutoring as long as he checks the traps in the basement. Turns out he's deathly afraid of mice and rodents, and this was like super traumatizing to him.
Sorry, Joel. Hope your back's feeling better.
This is a multiple traumas.
Yeah. Trauma inception.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I think
it's traumatized. No, Christopher just had to, over the summer, our cats found a mouse in our house and played with it for 2 hours, and it was like agonal gasping and had like all these like poke holes in it, and he finally was at like 2 a.m. and he had to do like a mercy kill, and
it's
all he
really
had was a
traumatizing.
log, and that's what he used, and he was like wildly upset about it.
Yeah. It's
Now every time
not
John
fun.
Ralphio gets like a moth, he's like, I can't look at him play with it. I'm like, get it, kill
You
that
and your
thing,
moths.
get it.
Yeah, I guess this is just part of being a homeowner, but it was
That
traumatizing to us, and now it has been traumatizing to you all.
Yeah,
Squirrel
I'm
trauma.
probably gonna think of that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have squirrel trauma,
Yeah.
which is kind of a funny phrase we said for any sort of like weird animal trauma, feel
And
free
it's
to.
not you abusing animals
Yeah,
just
it's
to
not
abuse
animal
animals.
abuse. It's just like unfortunate things. There's a thread on our Facebook group. Please share.
Yeah.
I'd love. I don't know why I find this so amusing. I
You
don't know what's wrong
love
with me.
squirrel
But
trauma.
yeah, I have a lot of
Something
it, and
Fucked up in the head. We should do a bagel where we read other people's squirrel trauma.
I would love to do
So
that.
if you have your own squirrel trauma, you can comment on the Facebook group, or you can write in,
DM,
Yeah.
email, all of that. Yeah, love to hear it.
We'll read it.
Yeah.
If you got a rat bashing story,
Yeah.
write in. Make me feel less
Make
alone.
Grace feel less alone. We can all
Please.
come together as a community and talk about our squirrel trauma.
Please
Yeah.
tell me the horrifying ways in which you have had to murder a rat or a mouse, please.
Or maybe a hamster by accident.
Yeah. Hamsters have
people
lots
have
of
the
crazy deaths.
Crazy deaths. with
Hamsters are nuts.
How are they still alive as like a species?
I just think there's so many of them. You know,
True.
that's
Maybe
how they
that's
survive.
why they breed, is because they just, I don't know.
Yeah, going by the numbers, you know, quantity over quality. What's that I hear in the distance? Is it a rat with a broken neck who needs to be smashed on the floor? No, I hear a train as well. The sound of horse hooves running up against the top of the train. It's a horse riding on top of a train, and they're coming from over the hill, coming towards the station. Oh, but they're looking mighty hungry. I think they might make a stop at the old pizza shop because it's time for Pizza Secrets.
All right.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
made it.
Smooth as always.
Yeah, what a transition. Yeah, we
All right.
nailed it.
We're super far into this episode, so we
Yep.
gotta bang through this real quick,
Yep.
and we will.
Yeah.
Let's do that song first.
Yeah.
Pizza secrets, tell me your secrets. Pizza secrets. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go first because I don't really have a pizza secret. I just have a pizza update.
Yeah.
The update is we were talking last time about how I accidentally stole my neighbor Kristin's gloves because she left them here and then I never returned them to her. We made a whole plan about how we'll like drop them in her mailbox. She has a Ring doorbell. So that plan is kind of off the table.
No.
Yeah. And I was talking with her the other day. She was so lovely at one of our
and you're like,
tree branches.
I have a secret.
I was like, I should just tell her now. And like, we were having
Get
a nice
it over with.
conversation.
No.
Because
you can never tell her.
a tree branch fell into her yard from our tree. And so she was like helping us cut it up. And I was like, is now the time? Should I do it? But I chickened out. And now I still need a plan to get out of my glove nightmare. What's
you
plan?
have to get ski masks.
Okay, not scary at all.
Oh, you missed your opportunity. Halloween already happened. Next Halloween, you go up, you get a full face mask
Pennywise.
or of something.
Okay,
Probably not Pennywise, because you were Pennywise this year.
you're right.
Do something completely different.
Oh yeah, I won Kristin's Halloween costume contest at her party, by the way, guys. No brag, but brag.
Yeah,
I was Pennywise.
you were.
I was very scary.
You look great.
People were scared.
I looked like a janitor.
You
That's
did.
okay.
You very much looked like a
I was
janitor.
a janitor. That's what I felt like. But,
yeah. All right, ski mask.
Ski mask. You get a ski mask.
Yep.
You wear all black clothes. You
Mm.
drop them off.
Do I like slink? Like I want to slink.
No, I think you make it speedy.
I think I slink. I want to make it like a whole performance. It's gonna be performance
Well,
art.
I think
I'm gonna make it a performance.
you're gonna trip.
But I'll be masked, so it doesn't matter.
Well, what if your mask falls off?
It's not gonna. I'm gonna wait till she goes out of town. I'm gonna wear all black. I'm gonna wear a mask. I'm gonna slink up
Are you gonna
like a
put
little
them in a bag
snake.
and then?
Maybe, or maybe I'll just put it in her mailbox. Although then then you're tampering with the mail potentially. You know, federal crime. Don't open people's mailboxes. I'll do a little bag. I'll put it like on the inside of the door.
Yeah, do a little bag.
And it'll be like from anonymous.
You could do that, yeah.
A normal approach, I would say. A normal
but you've
adult.
Gotta cover your face entirely.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a voice disguiser.
Ooh, yeah, you could say,
or maybe I should like leave a ransom note so I'm like asking for something. What should I ask for?
Don't ask.
What should I ask for?
You've already taken
I want to make it seem
gloves.
legit, because otherwise, why would I be wearing a ski mask, returning the gloves, not doing anything insidious? What would be the reason of that? Where would they have? Who is that? Where would they have been? Who brought those gloves? Why did they do that?
They'll probably ask you that. They're
She'll
like,
be confused
hey, a guy
forever.
with a ski mask came up to our door and left us these gloves we've been missing.
Like, oh my God, he left us a pair of boots. Who was that?
Who
was that guy?
Lean in, yeah.
He left pants at our neighbors. Some guy's leaving. Items
you
of clothing?
also have to get a ring cam and then do it to yourself so you can compare the image. It's the same guy.
Whoa,
same
he's
guy
just like dropping off articles of clothing?
that
That's
we had.
so weird.
You must be stealing them and then dropping them off.
Yeah, he left my boots.
I think
we got a plan.
I think that's your plan. Step one,
I think that's the most logical
ring
plan.
Cam.
You're right. We have a camera. It's not a ring cam.
Yeah.
We got a camera. I can take
so
some
you
footage.
need some good like B footage of you like rolling
You're right.
around
Yeah.
in your like ninja clothes and going there. Yeah, I think this is a great plan.
Like,
Nothing can go wrong.
No.
This is an airtight plan.
Airtight, logical.
Yeah, great.
Grown up, mature, makes sense.
Return bandit is what they'll call it.
Yeah.
He's returning articles of clothing that he stole.
That he somehow stole. We don't know how. Years ago. I forgot about those gloves. He took them years ago. I don't remember. All right, I think that's a good plan. Thank you for talking me through that.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know how it goes.
I appreciate the update.
Yeah,
it's always good.
It's a secret. All right, what you got?
All right, mine's called iPad malfunction.
Okay.
I work with a surgeon who plays music off of his old broken iPad. It's really old, partially broken. The screen's all like cracked to shambles. It's in a gross, dirty case. Probably not dirty. It's just like old. And his music sucks. That's the biggest issue. You've got to have good music in the OR. And we always talk about this. I always make lots of suggestions. What about ABBA? What about Fleetwood Mac? What about anything but this? And I think he thinks I'm joking, but we're all, and it's not just me. I'm the only one who's vocal about it.
But you speak for the people.
But I speak for the people. And I flat out told him, like one time he was like, do you want the music? And I go, that's okay. I prefer to operate in silence. And like, just really flat, but I'm trying to like pick up the hint, like get better music, buddy.
What's
like,
he playing?
He's playing like postmodern jukebox tunes.
What?
He's playing like, which is like covers of songs, but like ragtime style. He's playing like show tunes. One time he was on a sea shanty. My coworker comes down and he's like, we played sea shanties, and I was like, I would have walked out. You either operate in silence or you don't get a PA.
That's sea shanties. That's crazy.
Crazy. Wild. It's always like the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. It's like Christmas songs in July. It's not great.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I've made many comments, and I'm not the only one, but I'm the most vocal about it. Everybody is like, oh, he's music, and I like even get into OR first. I'm like, someone plug your phone in. All right, get the music going ahead of time before he gets here.
Or Mr. fucking Sea Shanties over here.
I was like, I swear to, I was like, put on whatever. I was like, whatever, anything will be better than this. And I've said this like multiple times. I'd rather operate in silence. So, and I think he thinks I'm joking. I don't know how else to be more clear.
Straight up tell him. I think
I've done it.
You've told him I don't like the music you're playing.
Well, I've done it. I don't know.
I don't think you have. I think you think you're being more straightforward than you actually are. I think you're hinting a lot.
Doing a lot
of hints. Certain people need very explicit words to tell them, we do not enjoy the music you are playing. You need to play different music.
Right. And the thing is I have a great OR playlist, but the aux cord is set up for iPhones 14 and below. That like, and mine's a 15.
You need a dongle.
I know. I need a different dongle than the dongle that they have. And I haven't
alternative dongle.
Yeah, alternative dongle. I don't have the correct dongle. The dongle mismatch.
Yeah, update that dongle.
So partially my fault for not getting a correct dongle.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like as a surgeon, you should be responsible for having good music.
Yeah,
And it
you're like
should be
setting
peppy.
the
We've
tone.
already talked about this. It's got to have pep.
Yep.
Got to be something that everybody can jam to.
Yep.
And, swearing to a minimum if possible.
Yeah.
Like we can't have like the N word 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Although by accident that did come up in the OR the other day and it was really funny. The surgeon's like, oh my God, please shut this off. I'm sorry. This was on my playlist.
Switch on the show too.
It was a different surgeon. But so I'm closing. He scrubs out so I can finish closing, which is another argument we get into because I'm a faster closer than he is. And I just want to get out of there. And so he's like, how can I help you? And I literally go, you can just leave. And the tech's like, ooh. And I'm like, no, this is for the best. I was like, why don't you do something else? I used to be subtle about it, but now I'm just like, why don't you just get on out?
I'm sure he's fine with that.
Yeah, and he is. So that's what we did the other day. It's also like Friday afternoon, and it's not afternoon. It's like 6 o'clock, and like we should have been out of there like way earlier, but someone's very slow, and I'm like very frustrated.
Is this by the way? I'm gonna bleep that out.
Okay?
Yeah,
of course it is.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we have to listen to this bullshit music the whole time, and I'm just like trying to pick up the pace and keep him on task. And I'm like, let's go. Like, it shouldn't take this long. It's just because he always loves to book on a Friday afternoon. And it always takes it took longer than expected. Yeah, it always fucking takes longer than expected on a Friday afternoon when I'm on call and I have to wait. And so I get a little frustrated. So now that I am becoming a brat, he's like, don't worry, I'll leave you my iPad.
Oh, great.
Oh, good. And that's
Thank
exactly
God.
I go, oh, good. And he left it there, and I had to close to his stupid music.
Does he listen to Cats?
Like,
Mr. Mistopheles over there?
Exactly. That's like basically what it is. And it's just like all these like, he has like an occasional Dua Lipa, which is great. We love her. And I really tried to get him on an ABBA phase because that was
ABBA's fun.
We love ABBA. ABBA's great in the OR. No one complains. It didn't last long. So he leaves it on. And I'm just like mad for a multitude of things. And he's like, yeah, after you're done, just bring it down and you can leave it in my office. But I'll leave you the music as if that's a favor.
Yeah, it's like a gift. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank God you left this Dear Evan Hansen playing.
It's like Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
I'm, not stuck. It's part of my job. I'm taking care of the patient. Patient's doing fine. I want to tuck him in. I want to make sure that he's all good, tucked in. It's like part of I get very specific, especially on Fridays because things get missed. Make sure he's tucked in, he's comfy, everything's fine.
You tuck him like you do like the under the
No.
butt
Tuck him in as in like make sure his vitals are okay, make sure his labs are okay, make sure
not
his
like
dressings are okay. Tucked him in.
Not like literally tucking them
theoretically tucked in.
Like under the chin, a little blankie under the chin.
I go and I say, hey, I tell the patient, like even though they're probably don't remember me, I say, hey, everything went well.
Give him a little kiss on the forehead.
Yep. Be like, good night.
Sleep tight.
No, I think it's good to say like, things went well. And if they didn't, then, we have to talk about it. But if they went according to plan, like I think, if I wake up from surgery, that's the first thing I want to know. Did everything go the way it was supposed to go? And so I say, hey, you're just waking up. Everything went fine. And they usually just go, they fall back asleep. So that's part of my job. I like to tuck them in. That's like how I phrase it. So I'm doing all this work. I'm mad. I have this fucking iPad. And so what I do is I would crank the volume all the way down. I play it, and then I shut the cover, and I leave it on his desk. And it played all weekend. And I did that knowing that I'd be out of battery and that he had to operate on Monday morning.
Ooh.
And he didn't have his music to listen to.
Nice.
And I don't work on Mondays, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I just definitely saved someone.
Doing it for the people.
Because then they had to figure out what to do with the music. And he was like, oh, I must have left my iPad on. And I'm like, oh.
Weird.
It's a secret.
That's a great move.
Maliciously did it. And I'll do it again.
Yeah. Leave it on.
Yeah, I don't care. I will do it again because I hate his music that much.
There you go.
It's like
He
so
deserves
infuriating.
Yeah.
Have better music.
Yeah. If you're going to be like playing it for everyone, I'm like so self-conscious about any music I play for anyone.
I made a playlist. I put my heart and soul into that playlist.
Yeah.
That no one will be able to listen to because I have a dongle issue. But
a real dongle issue.
But I think it's so important to like maintain a good room as a surgeon. There's books written about this on how to control your room. Like you're the head guy. Like you have a patient who's under your care, under anesthesia, and you're like running the show. You're literally cutting into someone. You got to make sure everybody else on the team is functioning at their best capacity. And if you don't have control of your room, including you have poor music that no one likes, that people are very vocal about.
Yeah. You're gonna have chaos.
Yeah, and it is.
And it is.
It is. Yeah. And
I thought you were gonna like accidentally break the iPad or something.
I've threatened. He
Drop it in
goes,
the toilet.
He goes, you can just put this on my desk when you're done. And I go, I might just throw it down the stairs. And he's like, ha 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 ha. I was like, yeah, put
Not
it
joking.
Yeah, the second he walks out of the room, I'm like, shut that off.
I'm sick of it.
And the circulator, every time the nurse will be like, oh, thank God. I'm like, yes, guys, get on my side here.
They need to be more vocal.
Yeah, I'm like holding the team here, you know? The only one who's like being like adamantly vocal, but everybody's like, oh, she's just sarcastic. Never been serious.
Dead serious.
More serious than I am now. Your music sucks.
Yeah. I think you need to be more direct with
I
him.
know. I do. I think you're right.
Explicitly words. You often, when you're talking to autistic people, you think that you can kind of hint at these things and they should pick it up. They're not picking it up.
No.
You need to explicitly tell him this doesn't create a fun environment for the OR. This music is not enjoyable for all of us. Is there something more mainstream that we could find to listen to that we all might enjoy?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm also thinking, so I'm like leaving soon. So I'm like, maybe my like passing words will be like, good luck. I hope your future OR team will have better music to listen to.
Yeah. Or let them deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have
not my
someone on the
problem.
team who's
Soon.
okay with saying, you know, shut this off.
Yeah.
But not listening to the Les Mis soundtrack ever again.
Yeah. I know it's like kind of a shitty thing to do, but I don't care.
I think it's very mild.
It's a harmless.
Yeah. It's
harmless.
a perfect pizza secret. It's harmless,
but
a little prank.
With malicious intent.
Yeah, but like not really malicious. It's more so like
I could be worse. I could have
inconveniencing him. Yeah,
and I might.
Yeah,
there's still time.
There's still time.
Yeah,
you could step on it accidentally.
Oops.
Whoops.
I mean, honestly, the wind
could
blow the wrong way and the thing would break. It's like really much on borrowed time.
Jab a pencil in there, break off the lead.
Oh,
then you can't connect anything. You don't know why.
I don't
right?
know. It just all of a sudden died.
For some reason.
And that's
weird.
the thing. If it all of a sudden dies, he's like, yeah, I really need to like put my music on my computer because if that thing dies, I'm screwed.
We're all
I'm
screwed.
Like, oh no.
Yeah, travesty.
Oh, what are we gonna do?
Can you imagine?
Yeah, without Les Miserables or whatever.
I know. God. How can we operate? Well, I think you need to get a new dongle, and I think you need to keep advocating for yourself and for others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
all right.
That's my pizza secret.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Great one.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's it. We gotta cruise on out of here.
If you enjoyed this episode, thanks.
Yeah.
I worked hard on it.
Yeah,
and
great
I
info
hope
dump.
You're just as happy about learning about Fleetwood Mac as I was.
Yeah.
You can like, follow, and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on our Facebook group. Please share your Squirrel Trauma.
Yes.
Or anything else you want to share. We're also on Patreon if you want more content.
Yep.
You're like, I can't get enough.
More.
We have a website where you could order some merch, some water bottles, some fanny packs, a tote.
Yep.
And then you can also buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/weirds-of-a-feather.
You got it.
Nailed it.
Yep.
And yeah, I
and
think
that's it.
Our show.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Woo! Woo!
Woo! Woo! You like that one?
Yeah.
Boo!
Boo! Bye.
See ya.